Hello
I didn't know you
everyone
were
and
such
welcome
a
back
soft
to
girl.
another Kaeya main Chronicles video. Last time there's a whole bunch of stuff, but anyways, what we found out is that Wriothesley has Lynette and wants to actually talk to Arlecchino, or the father, because he's noticed how much Fatui has been in his prison in the Fortress of Meropide, which he doesn't like. So he basically locked Freminet out and has Lynette, I'm guessing upstairs or something like that, to lure Linny out so then he could talk with Linny,
Come
basically
on, let's
being
get
like giving a
moving.
proposition, being like,
We're not
I'll let
frozen in place
Freminet
after
back
all.
in and I'll let you have also like both of your siblings back if you just like get me an audience with Arlecchino. And then Lenny went to go attack Wriothesley, and then Sigewinne shot him with a gun, probably like a tranquilizer or something, like a tranquilizer dart. Then Clorand came in with Freminet, and Sigewinne takes Freminet because he has the symptoms of someone who took the primordial waters, which we know what happens when someone from Fontaine takes takes a sip of the primordial water, aka they turn into bubbles. But
Seems all the
anyways,
other knights already have their hands full.
we're gonna talk over here first. Lenny's expression looks disgusted. It seems like he'd rather not have Sigewinne touch Freminet. Still, he didn't stop her, and it's obvious that Freminet does require urgent medical care. Sigewinne's examining Freminet carefully. She doesn't look too upset, which is a good sign. I hope Freminet will be okay.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial seawater. Still, his condition is not critical. Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Let's leave him here for now, and move him to the infirmary once he's recovered a bit more. Sorry. I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world at the moment. We do only have a single clinic in the fortress, however.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fortress? How could that possibly happen?
Please, look after Mr. Freminet for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator. Oh, I'll bring Miss Lynette back with me.
Where is she? How is she right now?
Oh, she's fine,
She
Linny.
just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations
See, I
are
knew it.
correct,
She shot Linny with a
should also be within
tranquilizer
a
gun,
hour
not an
now.
actual, like, gun
You
because then he
won't
kind of
believe
would be
me,
dead.
but Grace and I actually made some snacks and tea for her.
Linny has finally begun to stop tensing. Linny has finally begun to stop tensing the muscles on his face. It seems he trusts what Sigewinne just said. That's good. Alright, now over to Wriothesley and Clorand, which, has to answer one of the biggest questions for me. What
What's
the
that look
hell
on
is
your
going
face? I
on?
thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Sigewinne may have been forced to shoot Mr. Linny again. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial seawater has increased significantly.
That's bad, because
I was
remember,
only out
anyone
there
in
a short
Fontaine
time, so
that
it wasn't too bad.
digests it or has it
But if
on
one
them,
were to
they
stay for any
disappear.
significant
Turn
amount
into
of time,
bubbles, like poof.
well, you can see how that boy's doing.
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons. Never seems to work, though.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions, even when the outcomes were all terrible.
It's a bad sign if you're having to plead your case to Neuvillette. Want some tea?
Not particularly. If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel? I would like to dry my hair.
Well, that was a nice interaction. Kind of funny.
Lenny, are you okay?
How should he be okay? His younger brother might literally die in front of him and turn into a bunch of bubbles because the primordial seawater decided to rise, decided to increase their production.
Are you sure? You don't look alright.
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but that's probably just the residual effects of the tranquilizer shot.
I'm back, everyone.
Lenny! Oh, Traveler, Paimon, you're here too.
Yeah, we're all safe and sound. Okay, except Freminet. Freminet is going through something right now.
He'll be fine. But for now, please help me lift him up.
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side. Lynette, together?
On it.
Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us?
Very well then. Let us go, because I hope he survives and doesn't turn into like what we saw happen to other people before. They went to have some tea.
They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit. Miss Cloran will need a break, since she only just returned from rescuing Freminet out of the sea.
That's true, and her hair was wet and she wanted to get a towel. Cloran saved Freminet from the sea. Just what happened there? That's what I want to know. That's what I've been desperately wanting to know. But no, they ain't gonna tell us until like, you know, all the way later, until something actually happens and then we get told, and I'm like, oh my god, I couldn't have figured it out from the 10 cutscenes in a row. As you can tell, I'm getting tired of the fortress. Probably because it seems like the same continuous thing over and over and over again. And it's just like so very clear that I hate it. The investigation, of course, is gonna have to come, and you know, there's gonna be investigation parts. But I don't know. I think I like it more that there's gonna be a court case than us investigating for about 4 days straight and not finding much information out. And the ones that we do find information out about, you know, you just have to cross out things and stuff like that. And it's just, I don't know, maybe it's because I like the court and how we're doing a little bit more, and we're also going to new places too. Because Fontaine was still very new when we were doing that, and they brought you to like, you know, around the city and even like underground the city. And then they brought you to the headquarters. I forgot what Navia's thing was called again. I forgot what the team was called, but the headquarters. But anyways, and being stuck in the fortress where there's basically only like 3 main floors, it does kind of get boring. Again, I also haven't gotten to explore much of it because I'm so scared that I'm gonna accidentally trigger the story, and then I won't be able to get out because I'll have it saved and everything. But I guess also I was expecting more action, kind of, for the Fortress of Meropide, than basically just kind of like standing around, doing a job, standing around. Anyways, Freminet is awake and alive, so that's great.
Lynette.
We're all here.
Where am I?
The infirmary at the Fortress of Meropide, Mr. Freminet, and you are no longer in any danger. How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not feeling up to it.
Traveler. Paimon. It's been so long.
Hey Freminet, how you doing there?
There's something wrong with the seawater.
I know, it's primordial seawater. We already
It's
figured that
okay.
out.
We can talk about it after you've recovered.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it.
What happened after you snuck into the pipes?
Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now. I'm in. Seems like this pipe hasn't been used in a long time. It looks abandoned.
Alright, I know this isn't relevant to anything, but I love how Freminet is like the first character to have freckles. I don't know why, I just find it so adorable on him. I love his character design. I mean, I love all the character designs, but I really love his character design. It's like so cute and everything, and I love the fact that he has like visible freckles, like you can tell he has freckles on his face. Let's go back to the story. That's just it that I need to say. I didn't want to talk over important dialogue. Because we're getting told what happened.
Where could Master Child be?
Interesting though how they call him Master. And probably because they're in the Fatui and that he is yes, Freminet section. And that probably because you know, they're lower rank and the Harbingers are the pretty high ranking ones. Yeah, I kind of forgot that Freminet builds off of health.
This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it?
Interesting mechanic. Didn't we have a mechanic that was like this in the summertime event? I'm probably like more used to things because of the fact that the summer event that we went to place that had some like Fontaine things to it. Honestly, I think they should do that. I think they should keep it up with like whenever there's a new area coming out and everything, that they should have it at the event. That the event should show some mechanics or some things that will be in the next land. So people who do play the event has a little bit more.
Stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it.
And so that people can get, sorry, I'm just trying to figure this out. And so that people can get a little bit used to who did play the event, and you still have the explanations of everything like you usually do, but just so that it's a little bit easier too, because I kind of understand how a lot of this goes, because I think they had something rotating in the summer event. I keep saying summer event because I forgot the full title of it because it's been a while now. And even when they showed the enemies with the water guys, even though they're like friendly at the place, I also like knew who they were, so it like, you know, familiarity and being able to be like, oh, okay, I know how to deal with this. You know? That's what you always want in any of your things. Familiar, yeah. Like mechanic wise or just any other things. It's always good to have something that people will be familiar with. Which usually a lot of Genshin's mechanics are easy to get used to and familiarize yourself with. But
This is where the water starts. Okay.
I feel like it's better with
Master Child
showing a little
probably
bit of
dived into
the
the
things
water.
in the event.
I'll go take a look as well.
Oh no, I wanted him to oh, this is the I actually wanted him to like dive in, you know? Is it too shallow? Yay! I like it when they cannonball. Oh my gosh, I forgot that because how Freminet is, he's much faster underwater. I think Wriothesley also has it to where he's like much faster underwater and takes like less stamina.
The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. I should be going in the right direction. Oh, there are traces here too. I need to keep going. Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait. What the? My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going on? No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
Freminet, you're going to die. Turn back, please. Oh no. Oh hell. Oh lordy lordy lord. No, 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 Freminet, you're not gonna die on me. Uh-uh.
I can't die here. This is bad. I'm feeling worse and worse, and I'm still underwater. I have to push on.
So, in other words, the trail you were following
Okay,
vanished,
so there
and
is
you
a
had
way
no
through the
idea
trail
where
because I
Master
saw
Child could have gone, but there was also no obvious place for him to have disappeared to.
behind the seaweed, I saw that there was a gate, like there was a door, and there was a gate, and then you open the gates and everything, could have gone out. So, again, I don't blame Freminet, because Freminet was literally starting to die because of the primordial seawater. I'm glad that he's okay and that he didn't die, but there was an obvious way out. Probably supposed to be obvious to us and not the character, but still. Also, Freminet, my goodness gracious, baby, please do not die. I cannot see any more character deaths, because that is what every new region just feels like some character is going to die at any point in any second in time now. Like, no. You can't
right.
die.
I tried my
You're not
best
allowed to
swim
die.
back, but I had
I'll
already
ground
put some
you.
distance between myself and the fortress, and I just couldn't find the strength to keep going. I probably passed out some time after that, and you know the rest.
Miss Clarande brought you back. But we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or why she went out to save you.
Miss Clorand, you say? I must go thank her in person.
You're still too weak, Freminet. You can go after you've had some more rest.
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clorand will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
A guest? Then I can assume Wriothesley was the one who invited her to come down here?
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me.
Got it. I'll go talk to him, and I can finally figure out what the heck is happening.
What's going on? Wanna come with us, Lenny?
No, please go on without me. I don't want to leave just yet.
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave. Both of you are just in danger.
Lenny, that's understandable. I'll go for your place, I'll get all the information, and I'll relay it back to all you
Let's
guys.
just sit together for a
Don't
while.
worry. If I can remember all the information and relay it all back.
The Traveler and I are going to head out for now. As long as you stay in here, I don't think you'll be disturbed.
Thank you.
Le Deluge. Alright, we finished a part, or a chapter. A secret quest. I meant Secret Keepers. I just read new quest as secret. I can't believe I have finished like 2 acts so far, right? Not in this one, but in the last video I finished one and started one, and now I've finished one and now I'm starting one. What happens if I jump in the water? I don't think I'll be able to get out. I didn't even get to see the resident's office. I didn't even get to turn the camera yet.
Excuse me?
I take it Mr. Freminet's condition has stabilized?
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Sigewinne?
I wanted to check up on Miss Clorand. How are you feeling?
Oh yeah, you're also in the water too.
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now then.
How is she fighting in that? Like the short, that's like a short skirt.
Well,
And it's like
want to
tight.
explain yourself
You
more,
cannot
please?
fight in that. You can barely move in that. I know from experience.
course.
You can barely
Not
move
partial
in
to
those
the word
things.
choice of
And is she
explain.
out here fighting in it?
How about
I can't. I
in
can't. I'm jealous. This is game physics only. Only game physics will allow this. Please enlighten us as much as you'd like, because I like to know
Where
what
should
the
I
hell's
begin?
going on.
How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals.
Why didn't you stop them?
Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went, so I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
So you were hoping Linny's group would just do your work for you?
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Freminet has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the Fortress of Meropide is on the rise. The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true that you're also a former criminal?
Now, why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates. That's all.
Oh, right. Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Cloran down here?
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Freminet was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already.
So, the Forbidden Zone really exists?
That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Freminet.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
Yes, yes, please. Please just tell
Even
us.
if the truth
I'm
may
tired
not
of
be
waiting.
pleasant?
Yes, I don't give a damn how unpleasant it will be. Tell me now.
Follow me.
I went through so much crap anyways. Like literally in the Care Bear, Care Bear, like story, that whole thing. You know what happened? I saw a little child throw themselves. Well, a little hilly child throw themselves off a gosh darn cliff. I don't care how pleasant it may be. I've seen worse. Well, it'll probably get much worse as the game goes on, but so far, I've seen worse.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Wriothesley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meropide is.
Did I really, or did I want you to feel like you think that I forgot? Did you really think that? Is this an elevator that we're gonna
Stand
go
on the
down?
central plate.
Yeah, we're gonna be going down.
Is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa!
Once everyone has taken their positions on the circular plate, it begins to spiral downwards.
So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special.
And that is...
What a huge door!
What's with the big ass
There
door?
are
And
three
can I
such
open the
isolation
big
gates in total.
door?
Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone.
Can I open the door
Am I
now?
correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Well, they don't need to know about this part. I don't think
I
so.
wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
Okay, go back up on the plate and go back
well,
up.
I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether or not to tell them.
Yay, I get to open up the... Oh, I never tried, Hydro Traveler, that's right. Oh. Oh, so that is almost like near Villette.
Huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Whoa. They all just went up one by one.
What's that in the middle of the room?
Go on, have a look.
Yippee! He's letting me into some random room. I'm gonna stare at it. It did not even load that properly. Follow Wriothesley and explore the... I saw a big red button. I saw a big red light. This room is really empty with nothing in here, which is quite strange on its own. There's also a device smack dab in the middle of the room, which looks like some kind of massive sluice gate, I think.
I've been interested
It
in
says
what
either
lies
sluice
beyond that
or
gate ever
sluice
since I assumed
or
leadership of the
Salik.
Fortress of Meropide.
I can't say it, never mind.
Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally. Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking?
The water pressure? The temperature? I don't know, either way I'm just gonna guess.
Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary.
Ooh, time
The
until the
temperature should
inevitable
vary
fate.
with weather and climate changes, so
The
for
fact
something
that everything
rarely
that Farina's
shifts,
gonna
the water
cry and the
pressure is more
whole,
likely.
you know,
We ran a few
Fontaine will
tests to
just be
increase the
wiped,
pressure from
will
the
be
outside,
flood, you
but
know,
the readings didn't
flooded,
change at
everyone
all.
dies, and Farina's the only
Later
one
on,
alive.
A few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Freminet displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
The concentration of primordial seawater? But we're already under the sea!
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising.
Primordial seawater is continually leaking into the sea.
Yes, that's very likely.
Why?
But forget about the two of us. Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh. Oh!
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues...
He said Sloweek, right? It's called
soon
Sloweek.
it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all.
And if the primordial sea is leaking through, if this gate falls, all of Fontaine will fall with it.
Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meropide be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea? Who built this place anyway?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring.
Oh, just tell us the
It's just
answer,
that
I
the
don't
secret
care.
of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meropide in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to live here. When the previous Hydro Archon Egeria ruled the land, all convicted criminals
her
from
name's
Fontaine
Egeria?
were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them began to repent and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps, and over the years helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger.
So the last one
Before
was
long,
called
this
Igiris,
dark
right?
underwater fortress
I gotta have it like
became
stuck
the
in my head
city's
because
only
they aren't
home.
mentioned every single time.
And
Like,
with that,
you know, Greater
the
Lord
people here stopped
Rukkhadevata.
referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their
This
sentences,
is kind of
some
a
people
sad
left
but
and some
also
others chose
very
to stay.
hopeful
They'd
kind
find
of
some
story
idle
thing.
position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past.
So basically, Fortress of Meropide was built by people who basically did commit crimes but wanted a way to, you know, be treated kind of normally and have a place still left in Fontaine. And so the last Hydra Archon, Igris, decided to grant them that wish and let them be the ones to protect the primordial seed water. And so they started building it. And once those people died, the next generation of next generation, what I guess the next ones, whatever, would go and continue and finish building this fortress. So basically, this fortress was made to protect the primordial seawater from getting to any else of Fontaine, but also house people that have committed crimes so they can feel like they have a normal community underground, or still a normal community in Fontaine.
After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontainian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be dissolved into the sea.
Do you believe in prophecies?
To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate. Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, the third.
So, as the Duke of Meropide, just what do you plan to do about it?
Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something.
How many things do you want to show me?
This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone. Huh? Lorvine and Jurier?
Jurier. There we
No
go.
need to panic, you
Still
two.
do not know how to say
I've
that
already
name.
told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
They might be the only people to able to save us from
The
this.
results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin?
Yes, actually, you actually hear about him in a side quest that I accidentally started. and then I finished. But yes, I do know. Yeah, we have.
Good. Saves me a bit of time explaining. Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well. I hired him to be my technical consultant.
You want to blow up the Fortress of Meropide?
Ah, what a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
I don't think you would want to blow this up.
Tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Ooh, are they together?
Was voice cracked? Was that really necessary?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship with this man.
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget I said anything then. Follow me.
We are so mean to each other. I think this is a great team that'll help the Fortress of Meropide.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
So far, it seems like it can do many things that I did not expect it to do.
Thinks everything's super cool.
Is this just a normal room?
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
This is wow.
What a huge ship!
The Titanic.
This is
I
a
meant
production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
we build in a
How much do you
Titanic.
know about Fontainian history?
Not enough.
Not much at all.
Oh my gosh, are they building like an ark kind of
Well,
thing?
then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Yes, he just said the ship.
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the Primordial Sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster.
This is a plan for the ages.
Were the workers to
A
find
big
out the
boat.
truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. Alright, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions? Seems like you're good. Come on, I'll take you back. I'll leave you here for now.
Oh, thank you so much.
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
He means that my actions now will decide the next steps. Linny's group takes. In other words, if I want to tell Linny the truth, I must make him understand that we cannot afford excessive conflict right now.
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Yeah, we will.
Great. I look forward to what happens next.
Wow, well, there's a boat being built here. That is, very... Huh. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and everything that we've learned. I'm still surprised and shocked by it anyways, and at least we know what the last Archon's name is. Agrius? Oh my god, I think I forgot it. Okay. You know what, I'll just... Yeah. We'll continue where we left off, in the next video. So, bye-bye!